Hey there, friends and fellow entrepreneurs. Brian King here. As I've mentioned before, I have my own coaches. I have my own fellow business people that support me, and I want to make sure that I share the best lessons from those experiences with you. And one thing that you'll see is maybe a little bit of repetition of the topics, but from a slightly different angle because there's so much nuance that goes into this. I don't know what kind of promises you've seen out there on the internet in terms of do these 10 things and you'll make 7 figures or whatever. A lot of that's BS, and you and I both know that, because so much of what makes a difference is the little things, and I'm a big fan of doing the little things every day in a very disciplined way in order to get the results you want. And one thing I've learned, not only in terms of what's been told to me, but through applying it myself consistently and seeing results, is the value of building your business in a grassroots fashion. Now, when you think of grassroots, I hear about it a lot in the political sector, but what it basically means is those home community connections with your neighbors, the shaking hands, the having conversations over the fence, things that are much more personal like that. And so much of what you see the big gurus doing is not that. You see them building these massive lists or having these groups with 10,000 people in it, and they're doing these very general pitches. Hey, get on my list and I'll give you the blueprint to make this much money doing this thing. Or comment on this post and I'll send you this report. And it's not something that's targeted to you. It's something that's targeted to the masses. And for some folks that works, and that's great. That's not what I do, and that's not what I'm going to encourage you to do. So if you're looking to make a lot of money in a short amount of time, get the quick fix, I'm not your guy. But if you're looking to build long-term relationships that give you results over time, then we can have a conversation. So let's talk a little bit more about what building a grassroots business looks like. What it basically comes down to is trying to build individual relationships with the people in your community. Now, that doesn't mean everybody, because not everybody's going to be a good fit for your business, but they may have people in their lives that are a good fit for your business. But the only way you're going to know that is by getting to know them as individuals. Now, I have close to 5,000 people on my friends list and over 1,000 people that are just following me, which means they are paying attention to what shows up in their news feed from me, but we are not officially connected. But that's just on Facebook. That doesn't count the 2,000 people on Instagram or the 11,000 people on Twitter. But who do you decide to reach out to? Well, it starts pretty simple. Everybody has a birthday. And the vast majority of people on Facebook post what their birthday is. So when they do have a birthday, wish them a happy birthday, but don't become part of the noisy newsfeed of all the other hundreds of people that you just click the link and become invisible on their newsfeed. You're going to message them individually. You're going to use their name and say, happy birthday, so-and-so. I hope it's a wonderful day. Now, I do more than that to make sure the conversation keeps going, but that's where you're going to start. Just that simple outreach of making it personal, making it individual. You're also going to pay attention to who they are. There's a bio section when you connect to each person. Tells what they do. Maybe they're a stay-at-home parent. Maybe they're a banker. Maybe they're in direct sales, multi-level marketing, whatever it is. And you look for that stuff because if it's connected to what you do, then you want to support them in their business. Share their stuff. Comment on their stuff, congratulate them when they have a win. Just show up in their life and show them you're paying attention and that you care. Don't immediately say, oh, we're in the same business. Maybe you could buy from me. Maybe you could share my stuff. That's too transactional, and frankly, it's too selfish. Don't immediately ask them for something. Just show up and care and get to know them. Just like when a new neighbor moves in. You don't go over and shake their hand and say, hey, how you doing? What do you do? Because I'm curious as to whether you can do something for me. Neighbors are a long-term deal. You don't know how long they're going to live there. You certainly don't want to see them as a transaction. That's very superficial. It's very limited. You just want to find out, hey, do you need anything? Is there anybody you need to meet? What business are you in? Oh, you're in this business? Hey, so is so and so across the street. Why don't I introduce you? You begin by learning how you can serve them, not how they can serve you. Because when you look how to serve them, what kind of things do you think they're going to think about you? Hey, that person, that Joe, my new neighbor, is really generous, is kind, is a good listener. So when they tell other people about you, that's the kind of stuff they're going to say. When they say to their friend or their relative or their coworker, hey, my new neighbor Joe is this and this kind of person, they're not going to say, hey, that Joe and Joe's a real schmo. He came over and the first thing he did was ask me what I can do for him. I'm going to avoid that guy. Which is a better approach? Being salesy or being neighborly? So the grassroots approach is teaching everybody you interact with on social media as a neighbor. Hey, how can I help you out today? How can I support you? What can I do for you? The time will come, and this is one of the more difficult things for people to wrap their mind around, with a little patience, which I know is a real dying art these days, with a little patience, if this person is a good fit for you to do business with or to refer business to you, the time will come. But it begins by being neighborly with a lot of people. You're not putting all of your eggs in that one basket. You're getting to know a lot of neighbors in your community, becoming friendly, becoming supportive. And that is a heck of a lot easier to do on social media than it is in your own neighborhood. It takes a lot less time. When you think of how many people come through your newsfeed on a given day and how much time it takes you to check in and just say, hey, how's your day going? Let me know if you need anything. Piece of cake. And who knows where those conversations will lead. So start by thinking about what I've just shared with you. Of course, like I mentioned, there's a lot of nuance to it. There's a lot of customization to be done. And that's the stuff I really go in depth with the clients in my membership with. But this should be enough for you to maybe change your approach and begin creating more of a grassroots community of people that think of you as the kind of person they want to connect with more. And that's a tremendous foundation to begin with, because trying to convince them you're a good guy doesn't work. Showing them you're a good person does. So begin with that. Let me know if you have any questions. Until we talk next, here's to a solid business. This has been Brian. We'll talk again soon.